Well, I was watching the game last night, Houston and Duke. I got to admit, morning show DA dozed off. During the week, I get up bright and early. In fact, it's usually dark and early when I get up. And when it comes to the weekend, it's kind of hard for me to stay awake, especially if I'm sitting on the couch watching TV. So I got through the first game unscathed. Then I'm watching the Cougars and the Blue Devils in the late game. And like any good red-blooded American, I'm rooting hard against Duke. But there's a 14-point lead with about 8 minutes to play or so, something like that. And so I got to be honest, I was dozing off. Trying to keep that eye open. Bourbon Bell had gone to bed. Kiss her goodnight. I'm trying to stay awake, but it looks like it's going to be a cruise victory for Duke into the national championship game. They haven't had a challenge throughout the entire tournament. This was no different. And admittedly, you ever do one of these things where you're like putting your face closer to the TV to try to make sure that it can possibly register? And then that pillow behind me felt really good. So did that blanket. And I kind of laid my head down and I was watching through one eye. I open them up. Oh my God. Duke lost! Duke lost! Duke lost! It's good. It's good. It's good. And boy, did I soak in the postgame. Oh, did I revel in the postgame? Oh, this is great. This is great. And as soon as the postgame was over, I was wired. I'm like, oh, I can't go to bed now. Rewound to where I had fallen asleep. Watch the rest of it. Oh, God, was that good eating. Oh, God. And I had Duke in the national championship game. I had Florida versus Duke. And I'll tell you this, I never have the national championship game right, ever, before the bracket is opened up. And in this case, I was right, and I didn't even care to be wrong. And there was the collapse, and there was the loss. And you know what? That was better than any type of bracket win I could possibly get. Because you know what? Duke is always the easiest team to root against. Duke is the easiest team to root against because Duke hasn't really gone through a lot of lulls. I mean, you say you hate the Yankees, but the Yankees, they haven't won a World Series in 16 years. You say we hate the Cowboys, but the Cowboys are barely relevant when it comes to the postseason. We hate the Lakers. I mean, aside from the championship in the bubble, the last time we're talking about the Lakers winning a title was Kobe and Pau Gasol. Duke feels like they're in the Final Four every freaking year. Duke just had one of the greatest coaches ever of the sport, maybe any sport, retire. And 3 years later, they're in the Final Four with a new coach. Duke just keeps reloading. And here was Duke marching to another national championship, and the bottom fell out, and the gag happened, and for Leitner and for Hurley and all the crying and the whining for Grayson Allen, every call against them has to be the wrong call. For all the Coach K just trying to get as much attention as humanly possible. All the licking the boots of Coach K and Krzyzewskiville and Duke. For all the Dickie B, oh my God, the Duke Blue Devils, for all of the Jay Billises and all of the hype and all of the Jay Williams and all of the dookiness that's all around. Now you know what it is to feel the gag reflex in a crucial moment with a big lead. You thought it couldn't happen, and it happened. You gave up big shots. You gave up the inbounds pass. It got stolen. You missed your free throws, and here's Cooper Flagg, the best player in the nation, the number one pick of the NBA draft, the next face of basketball, pulling up, and Leitner 2.0, short, way short. Oh, God. It's good. Oh, God. That was for America. You know, things haven't been so easy for a lot of people for a long time, and this was a moment in sports where we could all come together as one. for a fragmented nation, here was a moment where we could all root for one common goal. It's like rooting against the Russians. We get to root against the Blue Devils. So, chef's kiss. Thank you, Houston. Thanks for saving us. Thank you, Kelvin Sampson. Thanks to the Cougs for the great comeback. And you know what? Thanks to the college basketball gods for delivering us from that nightmare, which would have been a Duke national championship after 2 UConn national championships in a row. Wasn't going to be much easier than that. Or much harder than that. So we are all delivered from that pain. Yeah!